So I'm up here on Lake Chelan, beautiful part of the world to spend the day, working on a spa, waiting for it to fill up just a little bit. And I'm contemplating Ephesians 4. It starts talking about calling us to live a life worthy of the calling that we've received, and then it goes on to say there's one body, there's one spirit, says how he gave some to be apostles, some teachers, a little bit later in that chapter, to equip people for the works of service. And then it says in verse 13, until we all reach unity in the faith and in the knowledge of the Son of God and become mature, attaining to the whole measure of the fullness of Christ. Then, in verse 14, we will no longer be infants, tossed back and forth by the waves and blown here and there by every wind of teaching and by the cunning and craftiness of people in their deceitful scheming. Instead, speaking the truth in love, we will grow in every respect. What comes to life in you as you hear that verse? To me, I think about even my own cunning and crafty thinking about how I can sufficiently attain to whatever it is that I hope to accomplish, that I can do it on my own. It's truly an amazing picture as I try to attain things on my own, how I'm tossed to and fro by every wave of deceit. It's like Peter out on the water. He stepped out of the boat and started to walk out toward Christ, and I'm convinced that he didn't begin to doubt Christ when he sank. He doubted himself. He thought, I can't do this, and he turned the attention off of Christ and onto himself. So, what's enlivened as me as I ponder today is, what does it look like to live a life of faith that is continuing to mature, a life that is not tossed to and from by different ideas and thoughts that come. What does it mean to live as a son of God in a faith relationship that ultimately finds him as the one that we are having faith in, not my job, not my current situation. We find ourselves in current situations that are a mess all the time. Sometimes they're messes of our own doing, sometimes they're messes of other people's doing, sometimes it's just bad luck. Just dumb luck. But to me, this call is one to continue to walk in faith. Not in whatever it is that I'm walking in, because really, ultimately, the circumstances are immaterial. Whatever circumstance I find myself in, whether it's a self-made hole that I've dug, whether it is a self-made achievement that I have, either one, we stand at risk of putting the attention back on ourselves, and when we do that, we're tossed on the waves and feeling out of control. Ultimately, it seems to me that maybe if we opt for losing control and die to ourselves right now and give ourselves wholly to whatever circumstances we face, realizing that God wants to birth something in us, that he's wooing us to a deeper walk and a deeper life, no matter what circumstance we find, that we will be able to grow and receive from him the life that is worthy of our calling, and ultimately a life that is filled with the presence and purpose and glory of Jesus Christ. I'm anxious to chat with you a little bit more about this on Sunday.